Welcome everyone to the Halloween Horror 2. Welcome to day 28. I'm a little behind, but that's okay. I will be caught up pretty soon. And for day 28, I will be doing Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes from now until Halloween. So, do something a little different, I figured would be pretty fun to do. Are You Afraid of the Dark is one of my. Excuse me, is one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen these episodes. This was the show I always look forward to, especially on Saturday nights during the Snick lineup. And I would watch all the reruns when they were on. When they had the little Stickly in the afternoon special, and they had the little spin wheel, and whatever it landed on was like an episode they aired. I always wanted to get Afraid of the Dark because at times they would have that on the little spin wheel. Little memory I remember. But Are You Afraid of the Dark has grown so much in popularity, has become a cult favorite to a lot of us. And in today's episode of Halloween Horror 2, or today's day 28, I'm going to be reviewing one of my personal favorite episodes. This is episode 9 from season 4, and it's titled The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner. Now, one of the reasons why this episode is one of my favorites is for some reason I remember the promotion that was going on, or not. I wouldn't say the promotion, but I remember the commercials and the ads that we were getting that were promoting this episode at the time because it was a new episode. Are You for the Dark? I think at that time after season 3 or after like a first few episodes, you didn't really get a whole lot in the way of episodes, and then eventually they started playing these teasers for the newest episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark. Either that, or I remember after it aired they were playing reruns or some sort, and they always had some type of ad. But nonetheless, I do remember things around that specific episode before it aired. And in Tales of the Ghastly Grinner, you have this young comic book artist who is really working hard to have his comic published by any company. And he eventually gets an invitation from a woman who is in charge of this, comic book store. And she believes that our main character in the story can help save her father. She explains that her father was working on this new comic book series and created this creature known as the Ghastly Grinner. Well, his comic book character came to life and pretty much sucked him into the comic book world. And this young kid, one thing leads to another, and he accidentally, ends up, freeing the Ghastly Grinner into our world. And there's this young little, this little, I wouldn't say little, but there's this young, nerdy type woman. What nerds were of the 90s in a way. And she's kind of friends with the main lead in this little story. And they both work together to kind of stop this Ghastly Grinner, and it's up to him to save the day. Excuse me. Sorry if this review is a little over the place. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much a story. This one, like I said, always stood out. The Ghastly Grinner character himself is just really, really creepy, and he kind of infects his victims with like this blue goo that comes out of their mouth, and they start laughing and everything. It's really creepy and terrifying, especially if you watch this episode when it first aired. Man, that episode would give you nightmares. It really would. Um, but over the years, it's become one of my personal favorites, and I feel like it's a very underrated episode. There's so many episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark that nobody talks about, and then there's just ones that are constantly talked about, which is unfortunate because I feel like every episode is just as good as the next. Some maybe a little bit better, but this one I have always liked. Now, for the rest of October, as I've stated, I will be reviewing Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. And these are going to be episodes that stood out to me for multiple reasons. And there's going to be a couple of them. I will explain a little bit more why they've become one of my personal favorites. But of course, in this episode, he does save the day and things like that. And he finally gets his comic book. Excuse me. He gets his comic book published. And it ends on a happy note. Not a lot of episodes of Afraid of the Dark have happy endings. So yeah, this episode definitely end on a positive note, which I did like. But the Ghastly Grinner, you can tell, I feel like whoever wrote this episode was really inspired by Batman, um, and the DC comics, because the episode again focuses on comic books, and it also, the Ghastly Grinner himself is definitely an inspiration of the Joker. It may be another character of some sort. He's just this weird jester looking creature, and I like it. I really do. But yeah, I just the episode, it's fun. It kind of explains itself in a way throughout the story, and it's definitely one I feel like you guys should check out. So let me know what your thoughts are on the Tales of the Ghastly Grinner. Do you like this one? Is it one of your episodes that you like to go back to once in a while? If you have the DVD set, or some type of release, is it one of your favorites? Do you find it to be underrated? I know a lot of times people forget a lot of episodes, and I'm sure this is going to be one that people have forgotten over the years. But nonetheless, it's a favorite of mine. And I wish I could say more, but Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes? They're kind of self explanatory and they're short. So thank you guys for tuning in to day 28. And don't forget to give this video a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, I'm Film Talk with Mikey, and we'll talk films.